Hi everyone, this is Margaret, and I am doing another look for my Asian Beauty series. And this is a bridal look that I think is really pretty because it's very ethereal looking, and it's very suited for a bride, especially a beautiful Asian bride, but definitely a look that I think a lot of fair skinned people can definitely wear, and not just for weddings, obviously. You can definitely wear this, on a nice special event that you're going to, black tie event. I think it's very pretty. And what's really great is it has a very pale aspect to it, but still it's very glam. And that's really what I love about this look. And I'm just going to give it a little bit more than normal coverage just because, this is a bride and she's going to have to be taking a lot of pictures, and she's going to be wearing this for, I would say, anywhere between 10 to 14 hours, and typically for a full day. So you just want to make sure that it looks great and it looks flawless. So I'm definitely working the foundation into the hairline. You want every part of it, and because I'm going just a touch slight paler, that I want to make sure that the ears and the neck and everything is all blended evenly, so you look very clean and even. And that's really amazing, you know um, how people can just leave their neck and ears alone and just put foundation on their face, and you can see the color difference. That really is kind of a big pet peeve of mine. So just be mindful of that. And you can just work yourself all the way down your neck and through the hairline and onto the ears and stuff. So just make sure everything's covered really well. So now for this look, I just want to reiterate that Alice wanted to do something a little bit more clean, and she requested to look a little touch paler than she is, because she wanted to have that real fair skin look. And so what I'm doing, and also because she said that a lot of what's going on with her wedding is lots of light colors, very bright. So she didn't want to be too dark or too tan or too golden for and go against the theme of her wedding. So, I'm just going with all of those factors, and she's using very soft pastel color flowers and things like that. So I thought, this might be a good look for that. So, definitely check it out. And so here I finished the foundation, and I used this silicone base, so that really gives it a great sheer coverage, but it gives it a nice finish coverage. And Alice here has unbelievable skin. I mean, I can't even tell you how blessed I was to be able to do her makeup, because really it's like working on someone that really doesn't need any foundation. Her skin is just gorgeous, and I'm sure you can already tell right there just how pretty it is. So now I'm going to set the base with a little bit of translucent powder, and I'm using a wedge sponge, and I just use some loose powder that I put a little bit on top of my hand, and I'm just working that in just to set the powder underneath her eyes and around her nose, and just those certain areas, but not on the eyelid, because on the eyelid you want to keep the primer of the silicone base, you know, still a little bit damp, so that when you put the shadow on, that it stays. Now I'm using a pearlized highlighting powder here, and I'm going right on her brow bone, and then I'm going to go all the way in to the inner part of her eye, because I want to bring the eyes out. I want to open them up, because Alice's eyes tend to go in, so I want to pull them out and create a little bit more opening. Now remember, light opens up, dark pulls in. So I'm creating optical illusions by allowing the light to open the eyes up. Now if I had put dark colors in that area, it would actually close her eyes. So you don't want to do that here. And especially because I'm using very super soft colors, and it's very muted colors, that you really want to use each different layers of colors appropriately. Now here I'm using this whispery champagne pink kind of metallic shadow, and I'm going to use that on top of the full lid, and I'm using a flat brush, and I'm just going to pat it along her whole lid. And before I did that, I made sure that the foundation was smooth, because you want to make sure that it doesn't crease up, because once you set the powder on a creased face, it will set the crease. So I didn't want to add any creases, so I made sure. So now I'm putting a little bit of fallout powder, even though we're using very soft colors. And now you can see how soft that is. You know, just how luminous but soft, and yet it definitely has a nice richness to the color. And yet it really plays with the ethereal look and that theme, you know, the whisper pastel-y colors. And this is really, really pretty, and I love this look because it's almost kind of like a no makeup nude look, but yet it's so glam at the same time. And so here I'm just adding and I'm blending and adding and blending, and then I'm going to take my highlighting powder brush again and just go over the highlighting area and just right on the edges of that pink shadow, and see how just blending just the edges so that way it all kind of merges together. And that's really important because you want to make sure that everything is very cohesive and very blended, you know, to the point where it has a nice feel to the shadow, and it looks perfectly gradiated and has enough payout, but yet still very soft. So now I'm taking my index finger and just kind of blending the foundation in a little bit. And then I'm going to go with that same champagne color, and I'm just going to line the lash line. And then I'm going to go right on her upper lash line, and I'm taking a small flat rectangle brush, and I just used a little bit of dark brown powder. Now this is a liner powder. It's not a cream or anything like that, but it's just a dark espresso color powder, and I'm just going to go right on the lash line, and I'm just going to go right on the inner part just to create some type of a cut crease effect. Not heavy though, and it's a very soft brown powder, so even though it's a darker brown, it's still soft and it's blending everything in. But what I'm doing is I'm creating a little bit more dimension, and I'm actually adding more depth. And remember, dark pulls in, light pulls out. So here, if you could look at it, how I'm just going with that kind of C shape, and it's a backward C shape, and then I'm using a blending brush and I'm just going to blend it all together. Now this is not supposed to look really obvious, it's just creating a little bit of a shade and a gradation just to create an optical illusion. So I'm going to go with that dark powder and go right on the lash line, and I'm not pulling it all the way in. I'm just going to stop right like kind of like 3/4 way in, because I want to keep the eyes open. And so here I'm just blending because you want everything to look gradiated and even tone. So now I'm taking my complexion brush, and with this it just blends everything together. So see, look at the eyes, see how the darkness has a nice depth on the inner part of the a crease of the lid, and see that creates more depth and it actually adds more texture and dimension to the eyes. So now I'm taking a flat brown matte color powder, eyebrow powder, and I'm just using my really small brush, flat head brush, and I'm just going to go over her natural brow. And I'm just going to go into those areas that need especially the fill-in of the brow. But I don't want the brows to be so super heavy, so I'm going to use my mustache brush, and I'm just going to blend. And I love using powder because powder actually looks so natural, but at the same time it really does give a nice shading to it. So I'm going to have Alice make like a fish and suck her cheeks in. And I'm using sort of like kind of a bluish pink colored cheek, and it's very pastel-y sherbet bluish color, and yet it also I think it really matches with the champagne color shadow I used, and it has a little bit of that bluish tinge to it, so it all kind of adds a nice, you know, family effect to it. So now I'm going with a little bit of a luminescent powder, and it just gives it a nice highlighted feel to the cheeks. So I'm going on the bridge of her nose and on top of the cheekbones, and then right on the chin, and then right on the edge of the lip, the top lip, and then right on the forehead. And really what I'm doing is I'm opening her face up. She's got a tiny, really small, mousy face, and really cute face, but I want to really, because I'm using soft colors, I really want to add dimensions. So the light pulls out and lifts her cheekbones up, and then yet it also accompanies the shaded colors that I use on the cheeks and eyes. And now I'm taking my complexion brush and I'm blending it all in again. And look how pretty that's turning out, and yet it's still so soft, still so pale and ethereal, but yet still so very glam. So now I'm going to have Alice take the eyelash curler and just give it a really good bend to the lashes. And I think you really have to understand that, you know, Asian eyes tend to be very, very hard to curl. So you want to really use a good 10 seconds of a push into each squeeze of the lash. And then what I do is use a very thick formula black mascara. Now, if you like my techniques and you would like to learn how to do makeup, you can also come in for in-person training, but we also have an online training program. And you want to learn how to do your own makeup like a pro or become a pro, you can go to www.mkcbeautyacademy.com, and that's for our online training program, and it's fantastic. And you can also do a blended training where you can take most of it online and take part of it in person, or you can take a full in-person program. And I do customized training and one-on-one training. It's really great, and it's all certified training. So definitely check it out, www.mkcbeautyacademy.com. Thank you so much for, you know, checking it out, because I think you'll definitely learn so much about it. And also, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, because I have a lot of different learning techniques just on my YouTube channel. So definitely become a subscriber to this channel. So now what I'm doing is I'm adding a very kind of deeper lip, and this is really what's, I think, going to add just that intensity to this soft, pretty ethereal look, and yet it really just pulls it all together. And I'm using this kind of reddish purple, red, bluish color, red pigmented lip. It's kind of like a lip gloss lipstick in one. And see how beautiful it is. And it's got that beautiful blue tinge to it, yet it's got a lot of red in it, and it's got a little bit of purple kind of all into one. And if you don't have this color and you like it, you can blend different colors to make it. So now what I'm doing is I'm adding my finishing touches, and I'm just going to add a little bit of the pink blush onto the edge of the top of the crease of her eyes. And there we have it. Here's my Asian Beauty bridal look. And definitely thank you so much for watching. Practice, 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 and stay tuned for more. Bye.